But with fire time, just trying to wake up and get it. And so I had seen somebody that I've known for years yesterday. They probably was walking into the grocery store and she was walking out. So that was kind of cool. I mentioned that to somebody else. And then it's like, oh, didn't even know that you'd seen that person. So there's that. That was pretty cool. Still outside. After that, there's the new done black as always. I'm chilling at Starbucks in my diamond spot. So there's that. I hope everybody's having a good day so far. I'm literally trying to wake up, but I've been up for hours. I just don't feel like it because my eyes are heavy. But I think I'll be alright. Hopefully, I get information about the lock being cut off my storage unit and it being cut off. That's what I'm waiting on. And now I have some stuff that I've acquired. I'm trying to get it back to people. I'm trying to get it back to the people that left it around so that way, they get their stuff back. You know what I'm saying? Because got ran out of the spot. You know what I'm saying? And because of that, I stuck around. But I can't jeopardize myself, you know what I mean? So with that being said, I stayed around as long as I felt I could. But then I was like, oh, I need to get to what I got going on, you know? And so we'll see what happens. I got a handful of guys next to me. And hopefully it quiets down in a second, which I think it will. But, I'm just trying to be the polite person that I know I can be. Because, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I had got some stuff that wasn't even mine. I just had gathered it up so that way it didn't get thrown away or whatever. Because where we was at, the people had came out and was like, "Oh, if y'all don't, claim this or whatever, we was gonna, get rid of it or whatever." Oh, well, thank you for the subscription. I appreciate that. That's very, very nice. And so I'm just trying to make sure that people get their stuff back. If they don't, so be it. I can use it. I wasn't really trying to though, you know what I mean? Because it wasn't my stuff. I was just trying to hold on to it to make sure they get it back. If they get it back, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I did something right. If not, you know what I'm saying? I'll either use it or donate it. You know what I'm saying? I just want to get back into my storage unit anyway. Good morning. I'm just sitting in my local Starbucks like I do most days and had my first cup of coffee and you know what I'm saying I was trying to charge my phone because my phone had died on me and you know what I'm saying I was gonna pay for the cup of coffee but the dudes in the cafe just handed it to me so I was like, oh, that's kind of nice. Because normally I pay for the cup of coffee that I drink in here. But it's nice to get a freebie once in a while. And I've got money in that account now because I ended up reloading the Starbucks card and putting stuff together. But I'm just hanging out. I've got some job interviews in about 6.5 hours. And so I'm charging my phone, looking at YouTube videos, going live. I put up the Good Morning Daily short this morning and just trying to enjoy the day. It's gray. The weather hasn't burnt off yet, so hopefully that happens. Even though it said it was gonna have like a 75% chance of rain today. At least that's what it said yesterday. And when I looked right before I went to sleep, it said it was like 5%. But like I said, I know Western Washington can change on a dime. I wouldn't say that, but you could say that. You know what I'm saying? I'm in uh, uh, moment of transition, I guess you could say. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm fighting with the woman I love, and I don't get to go home. You know what I'm saying? And I have homes, right? I just can't go to them. So I guess you could say that, but I don't want to look at it that way. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I've got job interviews. So as soon as I get a job, you know what I'm saying, things will change. But I have to do the best that I can because I have people counting on me and depending on me. You know what I'm saying? I don't get that option to take time off. I don't get that option to kick my feet in, and that's okay. You know, because it's just the situation. You know what I'm saying? I went from making $3,000 a month to nothing overnight. I mean, and then you know what I'm saying, she lost her job, and so we're struggling, but we're gonna make do. You know what I'm saying? I had just made a little bit of money tonight, and what I forgot to do was make a payment arrangement on my phone. And so, because I didn't make that payment arrangement, because I didn't know when my check was going to clear, and it cleared later than it was supposed to, my next bill came out, and they was like, "Oh, we want it in full," and so I'm still like $280 behind on that. But you know, I'm gonna make do. I'm gonna get back right. It's just gonna take more time. I wasn't expecting it to, go through everything that I'm going through right now, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? You can't change what you can't change. You know what I'm saying? You can't alter what you can't see. You know what I'm saying? You only know what you know. What you don't know, it can't hurt you. So with that being said, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna roll with the punches and I'm gonna make it. And I've been doing that, but it's been a little hard. And then it was easy, and then it was hard again. You know what I'm saying? And I try, you know what I mean? And that's what I'm doing. Even though I put forth the effort and I applied for jobs and you know what I'm saying, chosen to help the family, help her, all of this. You know what I'm saying? I'm still trying to keep the spirits as high as possible, even though I know it's not what I want. You know what I'm saying? I used to have my own place, had cars, you know what I'm saying, had things for, you know what I'm saying, leisure and all of these things. And what I've learned is that you can have something one minute and it can be gone the next. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I just have to roll with the punches and do the best that I can. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely gonna keep going, you know. What I really want to do is get a job in business management and administration, what I spent years of my life studying, and I don't think it's going to happen at the moment because of the economy. But I'm not going to give up. So, what am I trying to get now? I'm trying to get back into the security industry. One company said, "Oh, you had applied, so your information got moved," and then she finally said, "Oh, you're not with either side of the company that you were with," and I'm like, "I know I'm not with either side because you told me I couldn't apply with the other side of the side of the company that I started on because my stuff had come to you." So she's like, "Oh, you're not active with either side of the company," and I'm like, "What do you mean I'm not active? I'm not active because you guys keep canceling job interviews, even though I get them, right? Because I can cancel them, and the employer can cancel them, or the interviewer can cancel them too, just based on the fact that it's at will employment." So I'm like, "Okay, but you told me that I couldn't work for both sides of the company at the same time." So with that being said, if my information got sent from one side of the company to the other, doesn't that mean I would be inactive for the other side of the company that I don't work for? At least that was my thought. So I'm like, you know what? let me make sure, and then I'm gonna just go up there to the office, and I'm just gonna apply in the office. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna figure out what I can and cannot do because, you know, so I made $15,000 in 4 months working for that company. You know what it cost me to make that $15,000? $150. That's that's a good return on investment. You know what I'm saying? I spent $150 and made 15,000. Like, who don't want to do that? And all I was doing was walking in a square. You know what I mean? Walking in a circle. It's just crazy because they sent me a notice that said, "Oh, you have a mandatory meeting to go to, right?" And I didn't go to that meeting because the email they sent me ended up going to the spam folder, and I didn't see it until after the interview time. And so I was just like, "That's cool," you know. So they let me go because I didn't know something, and then when I tried to correct it, I mean, they had gotten all mad, and now I'm getting run around. You know what I mean? Oh, okay. It's almost time to twist all this new growth into what's already here. My hair was really slow, but I'm like, okay, fine. So if you canceled where I was at, right? Because I missed that mandatory meeting, and then HR says, oh, you can reapply. I mean, you're gonna have to start at the bottom, but you can reapply. I did that, and I figured out why my job was canceled. It was because they sent my stuff to the other side of the company. Well, you know what I'm saying? I was working for a temporary company for that other side of the company in advance, and I didn't want to do that anymore because they decided to send me home from the temp company that I was at, right? But the temp company didn't say we had any issues, so I'm saying now I have to have a dispute about that to even pay for the time that I was up there because it's like it takes time and money to travel to wherever you're going. And now you're gonna tell me after getting all the way up here, GPS verified location, pictures, this, that, the other, you mean that I can't work? So I'm saying now I gotta fight with them over that because I definitely need money, right? Like everybody needs money to survive. So hopefully that little dispute goes through in the next couple of days. I get paid for that because I don't like to work and not be paid all the time, just like everybody else. And so far, that's what it's been. I'm saying it takes, if I work, it takes what, 10 or 12 days to, you know what I'm saying, be paid, even though you say we're paid weekly and the pay period starts this day, the pay period ends this day. You know what I'm saying? Days of processing on their end, there's days of processing on my end for the bank. You know, it's just I don't get to do what I need to do or do what I want to do, what I need to do it or want to do it because you got to look at when you get paid, and I do. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking, I'm paid taxes, all that. It's just I'm watching money cool every day. I don't like it, so we'll see what we're gonna do about that. And that's why I'm trying to get back to full time regular job because I don't like temp work, but I'm doing it because you gotta have some money somewhere, right? So I had put in some uh, applications with a couple of other companies, and a couple of companies have messaged me back. Keep having things happen within their companies, and they keep changing the interviews up. So hopefully, You know, I can literally actually have these couple of interviews and I can actually get on with another company. And if I can do that, and even if I have to travel, even if I have to borrow money to get to and from work till I get that, first, second, whatever paycheck, that's what's going to happen. That's what it's going to be. And I'm just going to make it. You know what I mean? All I want to do is put forth the effort to be better than I once was. And that's what I'm going to do because that's all I know how to do. I just want to get to a point where I don't have to struggle anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because there's been times in my life where I had everything I needed, and you can have it, you can lose it, you can gain it again, and you can also lose it again. Like I have literally in the last 5 years had cars, you know what I'm saying, firearms, houses, apartments, and every time I lose something, it's not because of me, but you know what I'm saying, it's because of outside factors. Like nobody's going to say to themselves, "I want to be broke my entire life." Nobody's going to say to themselves, "You know what I'm saying, I'm not going to put the work in." And so, with that being said, I'm just tired of taking losses. But I know for every loss that I take, every L that I take, I know I'm going to take a bigger W. So, with that being said, I'm not mad. I just want to keep going. I just want to get to a point where you know what I'm saying, I can actually come up and stay up versus come up and fall. But like I said in one of my previous shows the other day, you know what I mean? I know that no trend is ever up, and I know that no trend is ever down. Trends fluctuate. That's what they do. And so when I went to college for business management and administration, that was one of the things that I learned is that trends fluctuate. And I've always known this because I've been a business owner for the last 6 or 8 years on my own, sole proprietor, just doing my thing when I can. And it works for me. But I want to expand, I want to grow. I want to get to a point where, the business runs itself. And I have a team of people doing what I need for that because I don't want to do it anymore. I know how, and I've been doing it. I don't like being a sole proprietor. I don't like doing all of the work. It's not that I don't like doing all the work. It's just to, design, produce, market, deliver, it, taxes, all of that. It's a lot. You know what I mean? But I know how to do all of that because, like I said, I studied business management and administration. So, I ain't even mad. I just want to get to the point where my businesses run themselves. And eventually I'm going to get there. You know, I was just on Facebook earlier and I noticed that one of my friends that I was co-workers with for quite a while, in a couple of years, he's moving back to North Carolina and he's going for good. He's like, "Oh, we should hang out on Sunday." I'm like, "That would be nice." He's like, "Oh, we should go to the bar." And I'm like, "We could do that, but I'm completely broke with what's been going on." So I don't know. I'm waiting to hear back from him. I'm waiting for the couple of job interviews that I've got going on. Just trying to do the best I can do and just make it. So I can't be mad. I'm a little tired with the way things are going, but it is what it is. As long as she's providing for and the kids are providing for, I don't really care where everything else comes from. So we'll see what happens. I'm hoping it warms up a little bit because I was looking at the weather and I was seeing a little bit of rain in the forecast. But mean that I am where I'm at and I know Western Washington, the weather can change on a dime here. So I don't know. I need to get back to my normal. This isn't my normal, and it's starting to weigh on me. But keep your head up, right? Keep your spirits high. That's what they say. So that's what I'm gonna do. But I'm gonna go ahead and end this. I just want to